It's no secret that idle time on job sites is a huge issue with a modern emission system.
It's been on everyone's mind for the last 10 years because that is probably 60% or better of our maintenance, our repairs, our downtime is emissions related in some way, shape, or form. Idle time has been a curse for years. We were blessed with a gentleman that called on us with a solution that we considered. That was Miller Electric and Roger. Roger worked with us for a year, took the cost risk exposure away for us to do our field study. We equipped 2 trucks, exact same spec, except one was a PTO drive and one was equipped with a Miller EnPak. Coming out of that year and truly tracking the truck, I think we had 8 different feeds coming in from crane out of cradle to compressor on or off or impact on or off in idle time. But just in our fuel burn, we were saving a mile to the gallon after that year with the EnPak. It was a no-brainer. I mean, we run the trucks anywhere from 5 to 10 years, so that was just the fuel economy. It was so strong we really didn't have to look at how much we were saving in emissions or how much downtime we were avoiding by not idling the trucks.
Working with the EnPak is a good thing for Ascendum with having everything all in one. With the compressor, the welder, and jumping machines off with it. It's a great addition to Ascendum. Having the remote panel in the compartment versus in the cab saves us time from having to climb in and out of the cab, starting a PTO and stuff.
Slip, trips, and falls are one of the biggest risks for injury for all of our technicians. And every time they climb on the back of a truck, there's always that risk. There's oil on the workbench, or they missed their step, and so the less they have to go up and on and off of a truck, the better. Having that ability and that versatility to start the truck, to start the EnPak, to blow the horn, and all that centralized in the control compartment in the service body is done from the ground. So all the controls are right at their fingertips, and it's very convenient. Power outlets on the back of the truck. Every field technician we have all have laptops. It's a requirement for them to do their job. So keeping something as simple as a laptop battery charged, they can plug it in on the back of the truck. We don't have to have an inverter in the cab.
With previous trucks, I've had to start my truck multiple times throughout the day to make sure I'm not draining the battery. But with the Miller EnPak, it has a battery monitor in it to where it makes sure that the truck battery stays charged and stays at its range, so the EnPak will start when it needs to. At the end of the day, I get home instead of being stuck on a job site with a dead battery. And then with it being tied in with the Summit body and the crane, I can use the crane remote to start the compressor and shut off the compressor and start the Miller EnPak from there too. With having that productivity of it being all in one, using it remote and stuff, it speeds up the process, saves the customer money, and gets us to the next job site quicker. The EnPak greatly reduces the downtime. Knowing when it needs serviced via the user interface on the display helps, so we could get it serviced and plan for that. As a technician, without having to run the truck for a PTO, the downtime for getting the truck scheduled for maintenance based on hours versus mileage gets us to where we could work with the customer more versus having the truck down monthly. Using the EnPak product versus the other ones that I've used prior, these are easier to use, a lot simpler to start up and run things that you need. Having the Summit and Miller EnPak combination, it's a tool in the bag that I can go on a job site and know that I have the backing of the product support of Miller and Summit. With that auto start stop, we can have it set where we have the compressor running and we're not using the compressor for a few minutes. The engine will shut off, save fuel, and also quiet the job site up. We use it to compress air to blow out compartments. If we need to, we could use it for like air hammer and stuff and range of air tools. With the air tank and the 60 CFM from the EnPak, we haven't had an issue with air loss or lag from the air compressor. Everything's been on demand and it's right there when we need it. With the on-demand hydraulic pump, it produces enough fluid for the Summit crane to have fluid, smooth, and precise action. It's quick, it's responsive, and it's a perfect match with the Summit crane.
The level of support from Miller has been incredible. There's not been a time I've ever called that I didn't get either an immediate answer or a response back within 30 minutes. The way I see how Miller and Ascendum Machinery and Volvo Construction Equipment and our other allied lines that we support, the way I see that is we're all I feel like are all wired the same way. Our principles, our blocking and tackling is very similar. Our customers, as I mentioned earlier, typically do not buy on price. It's not unimportant, but it's not all important. So when they do call and they have expectations, we're going to have a qualified tech with the right tools on their job. That's what they're expecting. The same expectation we have from Volvo, one of our primary manufacturers that we represent, is when we reach a point where we can't figure out a service problem or we need additional help, is the expectations they're there and they're on the phone walking us through it or working with us to get the problem solved. That same thing applies with Miller, and I think that is why Miller has earned our business. We have only fielded service trucks from 2 vendors in 17 years. We don't buy on price. That's not to say we want to overpay, but our customers typically don't buy on price either. They're buying the whole experience. So for us, the vendors we do partner with, we're buying the whole experience. We don't want a transactional sale and you disappear. So Miller has served that with us well. From earning the business to maintaining it and keeping it, it's been years. And I don't know that we would have had that same level of support or carryover for that many years without someone truly taking ownership and making this relationship grow.
The EnPak and Summit truck, it's made me a good technician based on productivity. Like I'm able to get things done quicker. Rolling onto the job site in a larger truck with the Miller EnPak, it shows a presence that we're there to do business and get the job done.